So the cool thing is we started this whole thing, and I got into real estate back in 2017 after spending 15 years in the brewing industry. And the thing that I always thought was I saw a lot of real estate agents chasing business. And people ask me all the time, what is the most influential piece of marketing tool on the planet? And realistically, what it is when you can deliver information to the consumer when they're searching for it. It's like going to a restaurant, looking at the menu, and you see what food's on that menu item, and you order it. Well, that's exactly what we discovered with YouTube over the course of our journey. We went through all the heartaches of shooting the Gary Vee style videos, digital mayor. We did everything that everyone told you to do. And even through this conference, there's been some people that aren't even in real estate telling you you need to go out and search for trends on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and consistently chase business. No one's teaching you how to build organic content that is delivered to the consumer when they're looking for it, and then getting them chasing you. There we go. And it took us a lot of work, a lot of energy, and a lot of dedication to get to that point. But the coolest thing is we've been able to pass it out to all of the agents around the country, and we've been able to help agents build channels that are doing lots of agents that do over 50 million in production through their organic inbound YouTube channels. We even have some teams that do over $100 million with one channel. I said we did 94 million. That's with 11 channels. We have a team that does over 100 million with one channel. And personally, Jackson said, dude, you know everything about EXP. Why don't you start a channel about recruiting? And I did. I followed our same tactics, and I personally have brought on over 100 agents directly, and I've never called a single agent, just like I've never called a single client. Both of us are out of production now. In 2020, when shit hit the fan, we both lived in Portland, and the riots were going on everywhere. I lived down in downtown Portland, and Jackson moved to Houston, Texas, and I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And the coolest thing is our business that year 5X'd, with us both out of production. Last year, our business from that point was up 10X. This year, we're on track to do about 180 million in sales, 100% organic. And the coolest thing is, it's not our teams either closing those deals. So what we did is we went around and created these channels, and we're leveraging other teams to close our business. They're calling in, reaching out to other agents, and they're closing the deals, and Jackson and I both get a check at the end of that closing. So we built a true leveraged machine using other people's teams to close our business. And the thing that drives me nuts about real estate is everybody injects themselves into the business, and when the riot hits, they're stuck in these cities. When COVID hit, they're all stuck. Everyone's out relocating and moving around, and I was able to move. Jackson was able to move, but a lot of people couldn't. And this is what happens at retirement age, is agents can't exit their business, and then when they get down to that point, they're like, shit, my business isn't really worth as much as I thought it was worth, or my brokerage wasn't worth as much as I thought it was. So this is another tool that is actually an asset to your business that can help get you out of production and add in a massive amount of leverage to your organization or your teams. The splits that we have with our agents is amazing, but all of our agents are being very well taken care of. None of them have to cold call, door knock, open house, prospect leads. None of our agents open house, none of our agents door knock, none of our agents cold call. We don't buy a single lead. We don't spend a single dime on ads. Jackson's getting into all that shit of how we do it all organically, and all we use is what Justin offers us through our VAs. So I'd love to get Jackson into this and go through the processes and the sales cycle of exactly how YouTube works.
What's up, homies? That's a lot of numbers. I'm the shittiest realtor of all time. Some of you have heard that before. I can't close anything. So when he says our team's close and they close it, I'm just the video guy. But I want to mention something real quick. The YouTube channel on the bottom, that's our baby. That's where kind of this whole thing started. I named it Living in Portland once I realized some SEO stuff. So you'll see thousands of living in channels across the country. We started that. But if you look up Channel Junkies, that's where I've been teaching it and documenting this for over 3 years. So I got 500 plus videos. I go live every week. I got podcasts. Nobody gives more free shit away than me. So I just wanted to put that up there real quick. Is if you look up Channel Junkies, you will see all the free stuff. But it is cool that we, not only do we get to speak on these stages and talk to you guys about this, but real estate, it can get into a drag. And my story, I don't want to get too late. I got a little bit of time, but it was really hard for me. And what I realized is, one, I was brand new to a market of Portland, Oregon. I was brand new into real estate, and I'm trying to get business from a bunch of people. I had no idea, so I had to really figure something out. The goal of today's speech is really just allowing you guys to understand how you can tweak and change your marketing forever. YouTube is our platform that we use, and we'll explain why, but I don't really care what platform you're on, whether you're blogging, Facebooks, Instagrams, all that kind of stuff. Your message needs to change. It needs to change today because we have been doing things in ways that we see other realtors do it or digital marketers, and it can lead you down a path. But, we get to work with our dream clients. I've worked with doctors, lawyers, retirees, singles, young, moms, dads, professional athletes, and as many people go to church on Sunday to speak to Jesus Christ, he called me. That's a true story. If you look up Jesus Christ on YouTube, he's a true YouTuber. He's changed his name, and he moved to Portland, Oregon, and he called us and bought a house with us. So if I can attract Jesus Christ through YouTube, I think it's the best platform. And he makes a lot of money dressed up in the cloth and skateboarding around. But really, what happened was this whole evolution. So I got into real estate, and I wanted to go all in video, right? That's just what we have to do. And what happens? We go to all these Facebook groups, right? And it's just plumb full of real estate agents. And it's plumb full of videos. And they're all getting hundreds, if not thousands of views. And we view that as a successful video. So I did that, right? And then you hear Gary Vee talk about, hey, you got to be the digital mayor, right? Everybody in your town, everybody in your city needs to know you. And you do that by interviewing shops, restaurants, bars, right? That kind of stuff. What we don't realize is that when all these views and everything's coming from these other real estate agents and not from our direct clients, we don't close shit from it. So I was new into real estate. I've said that 5 times because I want you to know I was new. And I did not close any business. And me and Jesse partnered up, and we were working together. And one day he called after about 6 months. He's like, dude, you doing okay? And I'm like, no, not at all. 2 kids, third on the way. And, just not making it work. I'm trying to cold call. I'm door knocking. I'm open housing. I can't close. I can go up. I love stages. I love talking to people. I talk to everybody all day. I just cannot ask for that business. And what happens is if we don't provide any value to anybody, then we got to convert them. And converting, I can't do. So I went all in with this video thing, and I just shot hundreds and hundreds of videos, and I couldn't door knock to get a client. But damn it, I door knocked every restaurant, and I freaking shot those videos, and they would cry, and they would thank me, and it was amazing, right? And then they just take your business card and chuck it. None of them ever reached out, and so doing all these videos, I never got to reach out. What I'm going to teach you today is the sales process, right? I did not understand the sales process. There's 4 pillars to that sales process. It's not mine. It's actually a defined sales process, but it will help you with your marketing, I guarantee it. The very first aspect of the sales process is problem recognition, right? If you are going to go buy something new, a new car, maybe the Tesla, maybe the BMW, a new laptop, maybe the Microsoft or a MacBook, we have a massive problem, right? So when we have a problem, what's the number one thing we do? If we're going to go buy something new, we go search it out, right? Okay? So the second part of the sales process is information search. This is when it started dawning on me, hey, I'm doing all these videos and I'm putting them to Facebook and I'm putting them to Instagram and I'm putting money behind them and I'm putting them in Facebook groups with realtors. Nobody's searching that shit anywhere, right? It's no problem for anybody. And so that's when it really started dawning on me is that if I'm not making money, he's giving me 20% of his business now. No income coming in. I have to be honest with myself. And so we started understanding, hey, the message needs to be on YouTube, right? This is where people are actually going and searching things out. So it's kind of a process, and I teach all this stuff on the Channel Junkies, but what happened was I started learning from keyword research tools out there. Some of you have heard of these. Keywords Everywhere is taught out there. But TubeBuddy is a keyword research tool that allows you to find video titles that people are actually searching that don't have a lot of competition that you can go in and rank for. And when I started noticing, obviously where to live in Portland, Oregon, pros and cons of living, how much does it cost to live in Portland, Oregon, That's when it started dawning on me. But one day I had the revelation when I started just searching a city and a suburb, right? Beaverton, Oregon, Portland, Oregon. It was coming back with hundreds of thousands of searches a month. Now, when I went to Keywords Everywhere and I pulled keyword research information from Google, tens of thousands. So there was 10, 12, 15 times a month more a city and a suburb was searched in YouTube over Google. That's the day I said, holy shit, everybody wants to see it. They don't want to read about it anymore. That's when the real estate vlog started happening, right? People's number one problem is, it ain't that 3-bed, 2-bath house that you're putting out there, right? This is how, when you look at a value funnel, the top of the list, Zillow. That's who we all hate. That's who we can't stand. I love them. I think they're the greatest company ever. And even when I'm looking at a house, I go to Zillow. I'm not going to John Doe's real estate team's little website that he built for $20,000, and I built a website for $20,000. You got to drive people there, right, with blogs. At the end of the day, we're so far above Zillow because if you were moving right now to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, or Hayden Lake, Idaho, my old hometown, are you going to search the escrow process? Are you going to search 3-bed, 2-bath house? No, you're going to try and figure out where the hell to live, right? So the number one problem these people have is they don't even know where to live yet. So they're not in Zillow. They're not in Realtor.com, right? They're not at Redfin.com. These are not leads that other people are now starting to call. And when they would reach out, they would go, hey, we have criteria. We're thinking this area. Well, we're like, tell us a little bit about yourself. And they would. And we go, actually, this area fits you best. In fact, what kind of criteria of house? And they tell us 3-bath or 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom. We go, all right, we have the most innovative technology. We're actually going to be able to build you out a list of homes. It's going to be sent to you. And it's going to be with all your criteria. And if you like a house, you hit this little heart button, and then it starts building this back-end information for us so that we can see your dream home. It's just our CRM, right? But guess what they said? Oh, my God, thank you so much. That's exactly what we need right now, right? So we were getting ahead, and we are getting ahead of the Zillows and the Redfins. So, guys, when you're doing your real estate marketing, it boils down to problem recognition. How many times are we starting our videos by turning it on and saying, hi, my name is Jackson Wilkey, your top real estate agent? Every time, right? We're always saying, hi, look at me. Look at my open house. Look at my listing. Look at my. I call those the my videos. I did them too, okay? But nobody searched that, and it wasn't a problem, right? But we have massive problems going in the real estate world right now, wouldn't you agree? 5% interest rates, 5.5%, 20%, growth year over year, and we're not addressing those problems. And we feel as real estate agents that if we address that right now, that no client's going to buy a house. I can't tell them that it's 5.5. I can't tell them that these prices are going up 20%. But if we start telling people the truth right out of the gate, they actually start trusting us a little bit more. It's crazy. Some of my best performing YouTube videos are usually 10 reasons not to move to this damn city. And I talk about if you're moving to Idaho and you see a dead elk on the back of somebody's pickup, get used to it. And I'm going to drive up as fast as I can because I probably know who it is, see how big that bull is, and give them a thumbs up. But if you don't like dead animals, don't move to Idaho. And if you see John in the grocery store with a big old 357 on his chest, he can do that legally in Idaho. Don't go yelling at him, right? I talk like that because I understand that the niche people that are moving to Idaho right now, super red conservative people, it's just what's happening, right? And that's who I am too. When I can talk my hunting stories and my fishing stories in Idaho, those people call me. Literally, it's my dream client. That's why I tell you, doctors, lawyers, professional athletes, Jesus Christ, they all call me because they just like who Jackson Wilkey is. And I get that out because I answer their questions. So when you start understanding this sales process of, hey, there's a massive problem, and it's, hey, I'm moving to this area, or I'm selling my house, and what's the biggest problem right now of selling a house? I'm currently doing it. And I told you I'm the worst realtor ever. You guys probably don't even know the answer. I have to sell my house first to get into another one because I got a couple other investment properties. My debt-to-income ratio is a little low, all that real estate stuff, right? You know how scary it is to sell your house and then have to just blindly, hopefully, right? I have 60 days to find a new house. Well, I'm freaking out. I'm calling him. Like I would do, dude, I got to sell my house first. What the hell am I going to do? He goes, no problem, dude. You can ask for like 30, 60 days rent back. Just go find an Airbnb, whatever, short term, and negotiate. I'm like, oh, that's pretty easy. That's all the shit that you guys know and you deal with every day, but yet we want to talk about our open house. But how many listings would you get if you told somebody, hey, you're thinking about selling your house, but you're scared shitless you're going to be homeless? Here's the 3 things you need to do. And I'm going to talk about 2 of the biggest mistakes I've seen people make, right? When we talk about those big mistakes, and I don't want you to make those, that's when I trust you. That's when I call you. I don't care about having 100,000 views on that video. If I get 3 of them, it's because I spoke right to their heart and they watch it, right? So I'm a data analytic nerd. That's how I created this whole YouTube process. I do not even remotely have enough time to talk about data analytics. But when people say, what are the best videos to shoot? Hey, you got to start shooting. I know what titles we can shoot, but it's data analytics that tells me exactly what to shoot. And then, without sharing my videos on social media, which is what we want to do, we want those views. That's all we care about, right? 1 million followers, 100,000 views. So we take that video and we place it in front of a bunch of other real estate agents because we just want views. I did the same shit. It kills you because the algorithms are 10 times smarter than any of us, right? So, the third part of the sales process is the evaluation of alternatives. What happens is we have a massive problem, we seek it out, and then we're just trying to find that person we relate to. And that's really where these algorithms kick in. My videos on average, the average I like to get to with YouTube search is I'm looking for a good 6 to 7 minute average view duration when people find me in search. My suggested videos, I'm trying to get 10 to 11 minute average view durations. Yeah, I shoot long videos. If I'm getting 10, 11 minute average view durations on suggested, that tells me the algorithms are 10 times smarter than me, placing it in front of a bunch of realtors, that it's actually going out and finding people most likely to watch my content, and I'm getting 60 to 80% longer view durations, right? So don't spend any money. Don't put these videos out for anybody else to see. Allow the algorithms to catch them. It takes time. We got to build a business. We don't want it tomorrow. We want everything tomorrow. This is a pipeline. We got to allow these algorithms. And the evaluation of alternatives, there's a lot of people that can't stand me. I have Facebook groups in certain cities against me. People hate me. But we sold north of 400 homes in the last 2.5 years from people who love us, right? So if you guys get a negative comment on your video, cute. That's real cute. I get thousands of them. But we get to help so many people, and that's really what I learned. The hardest part of doing this at the beginning, guys, I was the local Portlandia dude, and I was the top agent, right? Greasy, dressed up, sales guy, name tag, $1,200 videos that took 2 weeks to get back, and they were 1.5 minutes long about how great I was. I didn't answer anybody's questions. Now I travel the entire country dressed in shorts, T-shirts, LeBrons, and I just talk a bunch of shit, and people love it. That's it. I've literally cracked the code on how to go to a city, just like when everybody told me in Phoenix, Arizona, hey, you're going to love North Scottsdale. It's beautiful. It's where all the kids are. It's where the families. It's the best schools. It's the best everything. And I'm like, all right, let's roll. So we start shooting all these videos. First thing is the partner, he shows up there to shoot videos where she shows up with stacks of paperwork and all the data and the market information and numbers and all this shit. And I'm just like, where are people moving? She's like, well, North Scottsdale. I'm like, all right, let's go. So we go up there. We're driving through these neighborhoods, and I'm seeing all this stuff, and I'm looking, and I turn her, I'm like, this is the ugliest place I've ever seen. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, there's literally not a blade of grass. I'm from Idaho. I like grass. I like trees. I like mountains. You couldn't catch me living here. And I was starting to get worried. If this is the best you got, I would never even think about moving to Phoenix. Thankfully, towards the end of the trip, she starts taking me down towards Gilbert and Chandler and some of these areas. And I'm like, there's my green oasis. I got 3 kids under the age of 10. There's going to be a lot of kids stuck in cactuses if we live up in North Scottsdale and shit. So I say that in my videos, right? And I say, this is exactly why you reach out to me and call me, because you got to tell me 2, 3 things you like or you don't like, and I'll be able to pinpoint it to the exact street that's going to fit you. So I say this over and over and over in the videos. I don't have to tell you how expensive shit is. I don't have to give you market updates. Ain't nobody give a shit about inspection or escrow. They're just trying to figure out where to live, and they're trying to find that person that they relate to. So I have my kids in half my videos. I'm talking about being a dad. I talk about drinking brewskis. I literally get dozens of reach outs saying, I can't wait to buy you a brewski when we get there, right? I'm just Jackson Wilkey. And some people either love it or hate it. Hey, Jackson, there's already somebody in my market doing YouTube. Who cares? Who cares? In 6 months, if you stay consistent, they'll never know. Have you ever gone to YouTube, any one of you, and filtered it out by, who shot this video first? Because that's the only person I trust. You know? No, we don't. But in our minds, we're like, there's already somebody here doing it. I'm screwed. Well, I went to 11 markets with a lot of my students there, and I'm like, I'm going to kick their ass. This is easy. It really boils down to making a good, long video, having those longer average view durations, and unapologetically being yourself. I literally watch people read my videos word for word because they think that my way is the only way to do it. So they'll just like, in this video, we're going to talk about the 5 things that Jackson Wilkey talked about. That I should in Houston and Brewskis. So stay tuned. And it's like, be yourself, right? It's the hardest thing to do. If I tell the truth, no, right? I had to tell people that I was new to Portland, right? And it all came on one video when I started figuring out this YouTube thing, and I'm like, all right, people are really liking these stories of moving here and what it's like to live here. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I did this video called "Moving to Portland, Oregon: My Story," and I talked about a few different things in this video of just what it was like moving there. And I thought people were gonna kill me because I wasn't the top Portland realtor, and I just moved there myself. Come to find out, that was really the launching pad. That's what took off. I was the most relatable person in the entire Portland metro at that point, right? So my story of moving there and helping you find the right spot and telling people, hey, before you move to Portland, figure out your daycare. We moved here. I had 2 kids going to daycare in Idaho. It was $42 a day for both of them. I came to Portland. It was $53 for one of them suckers. And to ship one of them after school because I couldn't get there in time to pick them up was $36 a day for just 1 hour. So I'm into this thing at like $100 a copy right now, every day. So if you're moving to Portland, the first thing you should do if you got kiddos, lock down that daycare. We've had 100 messages of people like in tears. Thank you so much, Jackson, for telling us about that daycare tip. We're moving there. We got a budget of $1 million. Can you help us buy a house? So that was really my launching point. And so I've since, started a lot of channels, but my new baby is the Houston, Texas channel where I literally just document my life, just the shit that drives me crazy. Texas is like its own country. Now, I love it. I love Texas, all about it, but it is its own country. And I actually did a video about the freeze that happened last year, and it wasn't like, to get everybody's attention to the freeze and all that shit. I was just like, I've never been in a place to where so much goes wrong, but where you get so much help. These Texas people are the most, give everything they got to you I've ever felt in my life. So here's the freeze, people dying, and I got people blowing my door down going, you got everything you need, you got babies, you got food, you got water, I got heaters, I was like, good Lord. So, yeah, there's some problems with Texas, here and there, it's hot as shit, flat, whatever, but that's why we moved our family down to Texas, is for that, right? So now I get all these, Texas people damn straight. Then I get all these people moving to Texas I can't wait. My place is a shithole. So I'm allowed to basically just document my life and talk about it. And our agent there in Houston wrote us a letter. He'd been in real estate for 14 years. He'd never had a year where he did more than $50,000 in gross commissions. Up in 2020, he did $50,000. 2021, last year, he did $500,000 in gross commissions, all from the YouTube channel. And he said this quarter already, he's already beat that. So I'm sitting there just talking stories about Houston and what it's like to live there, and I just throw 4 to 5 calls to action in there to get people, right? So the evaluation of alternatives, people like me. I got 10 of my students with living in Houston channels. They're all getting business too. We're crushing it, but they get to choose. And we've had reach outs, and I'm seeing a lot of familiar, people who've, has YouTube channels too, and they say the same thing. It's funny because somebody was already doing it in my market. And these people called me and said, hey, I actually watched so-and-so's videos, but I just didn't really like them. And I liked you. Right there. It's so crazy how many times you'll get that. And you make way more money. The last Sphere Rocket event I was at, Justin said this. He goes, you make more money working with people you like. YouTube, I attract people who only like us. So there's never a conversion. There's never any, hey, this person's kind of like me. And if they have to work with me because I don't answer the phone calls, we usually don't take that either because they're like stage 5 clinger, crazy ones. So, you got a quick question? Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's got to be separate. Let me just finish this real quick, and I'll get to that, because that's probably one of the most important things. So we went through, if people are going to buy something, they have a problem. They seek that information out. This is why we love search engines, and YouTube is, I think, number one, but blogs, podcasting. I can go search it in these areas, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikToks, we're not really searching anything. And we don't do top 5 restaurants, because if you're moving to my city, you're going to go to Google or Bing, right? Or just your Google Maps. We don't search restaurant videos. We don't care about that when moving to an area. The evaluation of alternatives is you just got to unapologetically, be yourself. You've got to learn how to talk your way and be yourself. Number 4 is the purchase decision. They're going to make that purchase. We struggled at the beginning because as I started getting away from all those shitty real estate videos and the ones that never grew, I created the real estate vlog. That's the day I realized that people were searching these cities and suburbs. So me and J-Dow hit the streets. I knew nothing about Portland. He was driving me around. I made these sick-ass vlogs, and the channel started going. It was cool. Views, subscribers. That's the only thing we could hang our hat on. And then our lender, the manager of the lending company said, well, you guys are doing the craziest videos I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that in my life. How many deals are you getting from it? We're like, none. You telling anybody to call you? No, you can't do that. That's salesy. Everybody says you can't. No, people will just watch your shit all day long and use you. They're dumb. You got to tell them to call you. And I'm like, all right. So one day we were doing this video called Where to Live in Portland, Oregon when moving to Portland, Oregon. We were on the Tillicum Crossing right in the middle of town. And I came up with this call to action, which has been refined a little bit, and now thousands of agents have taken it, and it works. And it's once we hook people out of the gate, because what's the number one part of the sales process? Problem. So we got to answer that problem right out of the gate. So you're thinking about moving to Portland, you have no idea where to live. I moved here myself just 2 years ago. In this video, we're going to talk about a couple areas you might like to live, but most importantly, a bunch of areas you're going to hate to live. So stay tuned, right? You got to throw that in there. That gets our intro. And then that allows me to get my hook in there, right, or my call to action. So with that purchase decision, if you do not have a call to action in your marketing, you're never going to get a reach out. So mine that day kind of came out like, hey, what's up? This is Jackson with the Real Agent Now Group right here in the Portland Metro. This is your first time to this channel, and you want to learn everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, live, play right here in Portland, then make sure you tap that subscribe button, and you click the bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. And we honestly get so many phone calls, emails, texts, every day from people moving and relocating here, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving anywhere in Portland, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, even send that pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back on moving to Portland. Next day, 12 phone calls. The rest is history. We weren't telling people to call us. I had to hook them. I had to solve that problem, and then I can get that call to action in there. Again, data analytics proved that only 20% of the people were watching to the end of the video. So if we put our calls to action at the end, we lost out on 80% of our traffic. Get it at the beginning, the phone calls, comment, and guess what the first reach out was? Oh my God, I've been watching your videos for 6 months. It's the best thing ever for helping us move there. We didn't even really know you were in real estate. Thank you for telling us to call you. Hey, we got to move there and buy a house. Can you help us? We were like, good Lord Almighty. You got to tell people, but it's got to be authentic. We're not salesy. It's all value. And if you're starting a YouTube channel today, you're like, Jackson, I haven't had anybody call me yet. Well, yeah, in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years from now, that video still works for you. I just was talking, he started 2 channels. One of them he left for dead. I've done that too. He goes, the craziest thing's happening. I stopped doing videos. I moved to a completely different market, and the thing's just sitting there. It's the best referral machine ever. Those videos he put his hard work into a year ago, 2 years ago, are still paying him. I always say I got a 9, 6, and a 2-year-old right now, and they'll all be able to use my videos to close homes in 15, 20 years, so if they want to. But to get to your question about individual channels, yes, the biggest mistake we make as real estate agents is we think everything we do is amazing and it's got to be on one channel. But if you're watching my videos about moving to Idaho and then I slap you with this how to do Facebook ads for real estate agents, you're going to be like, what the hell? I'm trying to learn where to live. YouTube channels need to be very, very specific. So, in attracting agents, yes, Jesse called me every day. Oh, my God, this is amazing. This. And, we can help agents do this. And I'm like, start getting it. Tell that story. Get it to YouTube. He started doing that. He put in the reps, hundreds of videos. It attracts tons and tons of agents. They just want to work with us, right? So it's a totally different channel. You have to realize that your channel is 100% based on your niche. That was the day I realized, too, that when my YouTube channel name was Jackson Wilkey, And then it was Real Agent Now Group with Jackson Wilkey and Jesse Dow. Nobody searched that. I started understanding SEO. I started understanding, well, shit, the psychology behind it. They're seeing this not only video about Portland, but the whole YouTube channel's living in Portland. That's going to work a little better. So I switched to living in Portland, Oregon, which ranks number 1 right now if you search in YouTube. And that's why there's, thousands of those across the country. So it's very niche specific to the channel. I'm out of time, but you got a couple questions? What? Oh. Hell yeah. About $100 a channel. So it's kind of far-fetched, right? The whole AdSense and the YouTube, that's what we think we get paid on. I have 8 channels that are in the paid monetization right now program, and I think we're up to about $1,400 to $1,600 a month with all of those. You've really got to have a ton of views and subscribers to do that. So, we've gotten paid through other ways, just affiliate marketing and stuff. I think it's the best platform, period, for affiliate marketing. But as for AdSense, we're not after that. 400 homes sold is what we like. Yeah, so I like to call it a driver channel. Like, what's the driver, right? What's the hub of the city? For me, it's crazy because Houston is what we all think of, right, is the hub. That's where I do about 80% of my videos because I know that's the driver, but I'm a data analytic guy. When I go to my traffic source and I see what are people typing to find my channel, the number 1 search thing for my Living in Houston channel, the Woodlands, Texas. Because it just got ranked number 1 on niche.com. And so what do? I shot 5 videos on the Woodlands. I did a map video, I did a vlog, I did a pros and cons, I did a cost of living, all with the keywords of the Woodlands, Texas. And I dominate that ranking, and I got a kid. He's a real estate agent in Houston, and he's born and raised in the Woodlands. And he goes, "You kill me, dude. You know nothing about the Woodlands. The streets you're calling are wrong, but it's the best video I've ever seen." And I rank number 1 for the Woodlands, right? I just go in there and I see what I see. I like what I like, and I just kind of tell you where it's at in location. But this is why you need to reach out because we will help you find your spot. So, channel driver, and yes, I want to own the keyword of Katy, Texas, Sugar Land, Texas, Woodlands, Texas, right? I want to own them all. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so counties, no. Name one county in Idaho. You just can't do it, right? And people want to get specific down to counties, and they go, "Jackson, I look at the keyword research and the something county is searched so much." And I'm like, "Well, where are you pulling that data from?" And a lot of times it's from Google or other search engines that are pulling because local people are trying to search up the county tax record office. You got to understand where this search comes from. You may be on smaller areas, like when I did my North Idaho channel run from, it was called Living in North Idaho because it's generalized, right? And so that's kind of what I did was a North Idaho channel, and I found out where I'm from Hayden, but Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is the number 1 driver to that channel. So I do more Coeur d'Alene videos. Again, I'm going to tell you, you got to start shooting these videos, and then I can look at your analytics traffic source, see what search, but you may be able to go regionally on that. Like when I went and started an Arkansas channel, he's like, well, it's 3 hours across the state anywhere. I'm like, all right, we'll just do Living in Arkansas, right? And we can expand that. But if it's a major metro, a Phoenix, a Houston, a Dallas, I'm going to just do that. I'm just going to, because people aren't searching, should I do Austin or Dallas? Maybe 3 people in the world, but 99% of your traffic's really focused on that metro. Yes.
We'll take one more question, and then you guys can catch Jackson outside. We got to stay. We got another speaker up.
Yeah. So I'm glad you got to that because I didn't have time. 100%, right? At the beginning, I was just like you real estate agents. I'm the face. I have to close the deal. I have to do the paperwork. I have to do the offer. Well, I created the real estate blog, so I had to do the editing. I had to do the shoot. I had to do everything. Since then, I mean, I got VAs that manage my VAs. It was the only scalable way to do it. And VAs are such an important process. We actually have created programs to where it's like, okay, we're going to look at your target market. We're going to come up with the video titles. We'll feed those to you. We'll actually help you, coach you how to fill out that video. That was the biggest problem was we would give you a video title and everybody would be like, what do I say? Now we help you build that entire system out and then do your scheduling, your titles, your tags, your thumbnails, everything. So VAs can do all of this for you. I have VAs that take my content and they take it to these VAs. These VAs edit it. Those VAs take it to another one who's doing all the scheduling, the uploading. And since I've got channels across the country, they're managing all these other agents. They speak directly to them. I will say, I know we got to go. If you've ever heard, well, I got an editor and they sucked, or, I got this VA and it was shitty. I always say, you're shitty. Like, you got to teach these people what to do. So when I go to a new market, my system is bonkers. But in 2 days, I shoot 20 videos. I have hundreds of clips. I go back to my hotel. My head's pounding. It's the hardest thing in the world. Grab some cold beer, and I frickin' go through, and I just start labeling every clip, 0 through 150, in order, labeled what area it is, and then I'm uploading that to Google Drive while I shoot a map video. Hey, editor, okay, I'm in a brand new area. I know you don't know it. You're in Afghanistan, so you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say Apple, Idaho. So I shoot a map video, and I say I'm vlogging here, this city. Whenever I say this, it's right here. Whenever I say Ponderay, it's this lake. It looks like Pendorielli. So I go through and I show him everything on the map so he knows, and then I go through my folders and I show him where everything is. Everything's labeled. It's off to the editor, and I never even watch my videos. 2 weeks later, I got 20 videos up to the YouTube channel, and I only watch them. So you got to train these people up, and then they will make your life so much easier. So that's my big thing is you got to train these people up. Again, Channel Junkies, and I got a podcast too where I go live every day just talking whatever I'm thinking, and it's been a big hit. So it's called the Walk and Talk Podcast. If you look up Channel Junkies, you can check that out. And then I got 500 videos. I go live every Wednesday at 1 Central Time, answering all questions for as long as you guys want to on YouTube. So I'll give it all away. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.